whoop, whoop, whoop. Is it going? Are we live? Yeah, 11 o'clock. Woo! Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen like we do. It would. Oh, well, things will change and leaves will fall and it will rain. Transformed before your eyes with no time for chasing. Why is this happening? Oh, you never know just how life is gonna go. So you jump in your boat and row, row, row. Jump in your boat and row, row, row. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen like we do. It would. It always makes me so happy when you all sing along. Do it again. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen like we do. It would. Whoa, you gotta aim high and go for your pie in the sky. Go ahead and trust yourself, 'cause everything will right itself. Oh, life's a stream, so go ahead now, follow your dream. Jump in your boat and row, row, row. Jump in your boat and row, row, row. Here we go, everybody sing it. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen like we do. It would. Woo! Well, I want to thank those of you who are in the audience singing along. I'd like to thank those of you watching. You know, I wrote that song, and sometimes you have to take your own advice. And I had this dream to have a show, a talk show. And I'm like, look, I'm going to cry. And so I just started doing it. And we are now at show number 80. So every 2 weeks, I have put on a show through a pandemic, through being trapped in a different country, through all the ups and downs. And this week will be my 60th birthday. And so what I'm asking is that if you want to support me and what I do, if you would become a member on Patreon, patreon.com/The Laura Shepherd Show. You could pledge $1 a show. That would cost you $2 a month, and that would make me feel good. And I get these feelings like, why am I doing this? Like, this is crazy. And I get guests lined up. And Friday, I had 3 guests lined up for the show, just like I have it. And Friday afternoon, one of the guests called, and he said, oh, Laura, I didn't realize that this was a filmed show. I've had an operation on my face. I really can't be in front of a camera. And the first thing I do is get mad. Like, what do you mean you're canceling on me? And then I say, well, what in the world am I going to get this poor fella, you know? You're going to come up here with your bloody face and talk! And so then I think to myself, now, Laura, take your own advice. Just let it go, poor man. He's not going to get up. He's going to come back later. He didn't mean for this to happen. And so then I get anxious because now I only have 2 guests for the show. But one of the guests I knew was going to be quite, have a lot to talk about. So, oh, look at this. Miracles happening just as we speak. I'm talking about the cancellations, and we just had another miracle walk in the front door. So anyways, Friday night, there I am, and I think, well, that's all right. I can get by with just 2 guests. And I go to the Blueberry Patch, lovely place. If you've never been to the Blueberry Patch in Gulfport, I highly recommend it. And I sit there, and I'm a bit anxious, and I'm thinking, why do I do this stupid show? And these 2 young ladies that I've never met before came up to me, and they said, you're Laura Shepherd. And I said, oh, hello. And they said, oh, we just love watching your show. And I'm like, well, there you go. You know, all you got to do is relax. When somebody calls and cancels, you just relax. Well, then yesterday, I get another phone call. Another guest that was supposed to be on the show. cancels. He was supposed to go do something on Saturday, was supposed to happen, so he'd be free on Sunday. He's running a business with bees. He had to go pick up some queen bees. Everything fell through. He just had to go do it this morning. Oh, I get really mad, darn it! And then I think to myself, what are you mad for? The poor man, he's got to earn a living. The only time he can get these queen bees, you know, and so just bless him and say something's going to happen and it could be good and move on with your life. And then I went to visit a friend, Diane, and she was having a yard sale, and I was sitting there being terribly anxious because now I have only one guest for my 3-person talk show. And then these 2 gentlemen that I'd never seen before come up to buy something at this yard sale, and they said, oh, you're Laura Shepard, we really enjoy your show. And I'm like, well, that's good, I wish I had a dang guest to be on the show. So I quickly did some texting, and there was a guest who was supposed to be on the show, the next show, and I sent her a message sort of saying, you know, maybe she would switch up and be on the show a little earlier. But I didn't hear back from her, and I started getting really just anxious and upset about this, and I'm like, I don't understand why I'm doing this. It's making me sick to my stomach. And then I thought, whatever, just do the show. It's called the Laura Shepard Show. Play a few extra songs, and Larry, who was to play, will be here, and everything will be fine. And so just relax. Something's going to happen, and it could be good. Just follow your dreams, do a show, that's it. Well, when Larry got here, turns out his wife, Gail, is a publisher and writes books, and she agreed to be on the show. And just now, Noa has walked in, who was supposed to be on the show 2 weeks from now. She had an appointment earlier today. And yeah. Oh, well, she moved it to 12 o'clock so that she could come. And so now it's like, turns out miracles do happen. Everything is okay. There will be a show with 3 guests. So, yay! Everything is fine. And the whole thing about how, you know, when somebody calls and they cancel, my first reaction is to get angry. And then I just have to say to myself, calm down. You know, anger does not help a thing. And stop worrying. It'll all be fine. It'll all be fine. And so I have a little mantra, something's going to happen and it could be good. But the other one I use is things are always working out for me. Things are always working out for me. Like, what's the worst that could happen? We'd have one guest, I'd play an extra song, and nobody would beat me with a rake. And I think sometimes just letting go, and bad things happen, but not getting yourself all up in a bunch, at least you sleep a little better. All right, Larry, join us on the stage.
All right.
I didn't make it easy.
Yeah. There we go.
All right.
Welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
You are I'm going to give you this little thing. You are our only official guest. And then, of course, I do little ads for the show where I say, oh, we're going to have a pest control person and talk about local film. And it's like, oh my goodness, the ad's all wrong. None of that is true, except the fact that we're going to have a local musician. That is it. You are the only true thing that happened.
I've never been anybody's only true thing before, so,
Well,
this makes me happy.
You are my true thing. So what is it that you what are you doing here in Gulfport? What do you do? Who are you?
I moved here in 2010. I retired, and
How'd you pick Gulfport?
well, I've been in Florida a lot. I used to work, used to travel around and work, and I've been in Florida a lot before, and I always loved Florida. And I said, one of these days, that's where I'm going to live, and this is where I am.
Well, how'd you end up in Gulfport, though? It's so special.
Well, I'm in Southwest St. Pete, a few miles
okay.
from here.
Okay.
But I do all my socializing in Gulfport.
Yeah, that's where we met at an open mic at the
Yes.
Tommy's Tiki.
I first met you, you may not remember, but it was at the Blueberry Patch.
Oh, well,
It was
there
my
you go.
first time back. I have a hand condition where both my hands are crippled and been
Yeah,
operated
this
on.
is interesting because, yeah, talk about overcoming adversity. You got these little wrinkled up hands, but you're still, I mean, I'm not to insult your hands, excuse
Well,
me.
I quit playing for a long time, and I decided to get back into it a little bit, so I went to an open mic at Blueberry Patch. It was my first outing, and I met you there.
Oh.
And I was nervous, and I was talking to you, and you said, oh, man, you'll do fine. That's a great place, blah, blah, blah. You might not even remember that. That's the first time I met you, and then we met later on at other open mics.
Well,
So.
thank you for reminding me of that. No, I hadn't remembered. you okay, so but you made your living as I'm understanding as a
Pipe welder.
Pipe
yes.
welder.
That was my main job for most of my life, was
Yeah,
pipe welder.
and that sounds cool. Do you ever do any welding anymore?
No.
Do you have any desire to do any
No.
welding? Never. You don't care if you never see another.
Never see another arc weld again. I'll be
Another
happy.
arc weld again. So then you're. This is what I found out about you this morning, which I didn't know, is that you've also written some books.
Yeah, I've always been a poet. When I was in middle school, I walked around with a poetry pad, and all the girls thought I was a nerd. And I met a guy one time, and he said, "What you need to do is put that poetry to music, and then they'll love you." And he was right. I got my first guitar, and that changed everything. So.
All right, so I'm going to ask you to sing us a song.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to get up and leave the stage, and you're going to sing us a song, and then I'll pop back by the stage.
Alrighty.
Okay? Give us a little song and dance.
Song and dance. Well, I wrote this song. It's a new song. I wrote this song while we were sequestered. You know, when you're stuck at home for a year, you know, they say adversity is the mother of invention. You know, that's where you get creative, when you have diverse struggles and hard times. But I was thinking about what really mattered, and I wrote this song. It's called "The Sidewalk Prophet." It's brand new. I met a feller on the street one day. He was getting kind of carried away, standing on a big soapbox, talking about how the world got lost. He said we all share the blame, each and every one. If we don't change our ways, no telling what will come. He asked, did I want to be free? Then he pointed his bony finger at me. He said, get up and make a stand. Give your neighbor a helping hand. You know, that sounded okay, but I had a lot to do. I thought it'd be alright if I just left it up to you. I woke up and heard the news. Everybody had the blues. People getting sick all around, talking about closing down our town. I wondered if this was it, a final judgment day, or if we got lucky and survived, would we change our ways? I met a feller on the street one day. He was getting kind of carried away. He had on ragged clothes, and he looked a little touched. He was mumbling about love and peace and coming together and such. Standing on a big soapbox, talking about how the world got lost. He said we all share the blame, each and every one. If we don't change our ways, no telling what will come. Yeah. I met that fella on the sidewalk a while back. He was looking a little rough. Of course, he was getting older, but his voice was getting stronger. He said we all share the blame, each and every one. If we don't change our ways, no telling what will come. I met a feller on the street one day. He was getting kind of carried away. That's the Sidewalk Prophet.
Wonderful. I love it when when you said the part about shaking his bony fingers, and we all were shaking our bony fingers out in the audience. That's
How many of those pictures have you seen with the Grim Reaper?
Right, Grim Reaper. All right, well, I'm going to talk to you for a few more minutes, and then Noah, who came in on the emergency call,
Cool.
has got to leave before the show is over. So, now, not only do you write songs, but you've written a few books.
7 books.
7 books. See, you learn so much about somebody on the Laura Shepherd Show. What sort of books have you written?
They're mostly fiction and some memoirs, but they're mostly fiction. I write about everyday characters, sort of like Steinbeck. Common people, what they're trying to survive, make it in this world, understand the meaning, why they're here, what it's all about. Character-driven books like that, yeah.
And you had said that you started writing books because your hands were hurting and you couldn't play?
Yeah, I couldn't perform anymore, so I had to find a new way to get my creativity out. So I thought, well, I've always been a poet and a storyteller, well, I'll just write books. Well, I started that, but it wasn't as easy as I thought, you know. I was born in the Appalachia and was raised in a one-room schoolhouse, and I wasn't taught phonics, I was taught sight reading. So it wasn't as easy to write. I learned that writing's a skill. You have to learn it. It's like being a carpenter or whatever. You have to learn how to do it. So I started studying and got pretty proficient at it after about 10 years. So
Yeah.
I'm sort of happy with what I write now today. So.
Okay, well we're gonna talk to you a little bit more in a minute. Do you have another little short song you could write for us before we have to rush you off the stage?
A short song?
Or I don't know, not a short. I mean, you know, you got about 4 minutes, so
4 minutes?
you know,
I can play another song.
Give
yeah.
us another song.
Okay. This is here. It's called. My mama was a country western singer, and she loved country music. I wrote this one. This is our favorite song called "Rolling Pennies." I don't know how everyone lives. I just know what I've seen. And I've seen some people supposed to have it pretty good, and they don't even know what happened means. But there's been nights when I've come on home from work and naturally sit down, kicked up my feet. They said my wife down on the floor, rolling pennies to make things meet. Rolling pennies can't stop a dream. Rolling pennies, it can't stop a dream. No, we don't complain about what we don't have. We're just happy instead of sad. Now, I heard a man the other day, he said things were getting tough. You're gonna call a company meet, see how everyone felt. There they were sitting down over a juicy T-bone steak, complaining about having to tighten up their belts. Well, I may have to wear khaki pants and old worn out shirts and shoes I got on sale at Fashion Fair. Come Saturday night when she puts that pretty dress on, Lord, we don't even have a care. Rolling pennies is alright with me. Rolling pennies, it can't stop a dream, no. We don't complain about what we don't have. We're just happy instead of sad, that's right. Hee-haw, that's Rolling Pennies.
All right, thank you, Larry. I love that. Rolling pennies.
Thank you very much.
That's right, and we're just happy instead of sad.
That's a
Let's
true
do it.
story. We rolled a lot of pennies.
Rolled a lot of pennies. Okay, we're going to get you back up at the very end
All
to
right.
sing another little Gulfport song. Noah, please join me. Thank you so much for coming as you were, now I'm going to write your name, N-O-A. N-O-A. And is there a way somebody would want to get in touch with you?
phone number,
Yes.
Facebook,
Phone number? What's your phone number?
727
727
345
345
2570.
2570. And on
And,
Facebook.
wait, and this one is actually text because I have a block on people that I don't know their phone
Oh,
number.
you have to text.
Yeah, and then I can let you in.
Okay. And what is your last name on Facebook? I'll try and tag you on the show here.
Okay, it's
After-
Spector-Flock.
Oh, S P
S-P-E-C-T-O-R
O R
hyphen
hyphen
F-L-O
F L O
C-K.
C K.
Got it.
Noa Spector-Flock.
Yeah,
How are you? We just met recently through.
that's right. And
through
it's,
some.
yeah, it's funny he was talking about books.
Yes.
I wrote 2 books without knowing how to write and without even knowing English good enough, well enough. So I came here when I was 28 as a way of exploring the world and seeing if what I have to say is true. Florida was pretty much a desert, and I had an idea that I understood something about movement. So I
About
came,
movement.
body
Yes.
movement.
Body movement. This is what
So I came here and went to the University of USF and told them you need me, and they hired me.
So you just went in there and told them that they needed you.
Right.
See, this is so wonderful to
This
me.
is
People
so
that
Israeli.
actually have
Courage.
courage and a dream and something that you actually want to do. You know, that stuff.
Yeah. It took courage and not knowing how it actually works because in 90, like 8 years later, I had an idea for a book and it just got on, I have to say, and I had no idea how to write books. So I just wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and sent it to the best 3 publishers in the country for movement and dance. And one of them said yes.
And so what
Princeton.
are the
So-
Princeton?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
there's a fancy name.
And I sent it without page numbers and without my name. I mean, I just sent a bunch of papers. I mean, I knew nothing. So it takes learning how to write, and it takes a lot of. When you write in English, when your thinking is in Hebrew and everything is right to left, left to right, you have to really translate the Hebrewish into English.
And what are your books about?
So the first book was basically meant for dancers, and it deals with eccentric contractions. So
Eccentric.
Yeah, so Popeye does a concentric contraction when he makes the muscle short and strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you apply pressure and resistance, the muscle actually elongates when he works, and that's eccentric. E, long E. So the whole idea was how to make muscle be strong, but look long and lean, so you don't look like a bodybuilder when you get on stage. And the second book was for mature people and beyond, that's the name of the book, so the people that are over 50 and they don't have to lift their leg up to here, but they still want to stay strong and look lean.
And can we get your books?
Yeah,
Where?
I have quite a few of them in my cupboard.
Okay, you have some of you covered. Can people look online? for them? Or
Online,
they-
yeah, online too. I have them, I translated them to ebooks as well.
Okay. And so they would look up your name.
Right.
And
I
so-
have a YouTube channel under my name with free classes, and I have a new website that's actually ready, but the only thing that's not ready is the selling and sending, which I don't really know how to set yet.
Well,
I'm in the
somebody-
process of learning.
Yeah, you seem to learn pretty well. Okay, so if anybody is interested in this sort of movement, they can work on trying to find you.
Yeah,
And-
there are free classes on lots of them on the YouTube channel is completely free.
I can try and link that in the description after this show
Yeah.
is over.
And I have a live class in Gulfport every Friday morning at 9:30.
Yes,
So that's on chairs. It's called On the Edge of the Chair.
on the edge of the chair. Now, why are you doing it on a chair? What, because,
Because most of the people are in their 70s and 80s, and going down to the floor and coming up for some of them is difficult. Some of the setting in Gulfport sometimes is not it's most suitable for chairs. And there's tons of things you can do in a chair. It's endless.
Like, can you give us oh wait, is there?
Where in
There's-
Gulfport?
Where in Gulfport do you
Okay,
do it?
so
Yeah.
the class usually is in Scouts Hall, which is absolutely a lovely building.
Yeah, Scout Hall, yeah.
And now it's being renovated. One of the walls is being so it's on 49th Street and 16 in the neighborhood community, Gulfport, next to where the police is.
Oh yeah, no, okay, yeah. There's yeah. So Friday mornings in the neighborhood center,
Yeah.
they could find you, and they could just look it up on the edge of the chair.
Right, and you need to be a member of the Gulfport, the senior center. You have like a little
Card,
tag
oh,
with
okay, yeah.
the phone. Exactly.
Oh,
just
they're
like
one of
that.
those, yeah.
Yeah, and you can go to all the classes with them. Yeah.
Okay, can you give us a little bit of a demonstration about what you do, or what makes what you do maybe different?
Different, very different.
Okay.
So I'm a yoga teacher. I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher. I'm a dance teacher. I mean, I have a lot of modalities. But the one thing that I think that I stand out or different from many other is that I work on the efficiency and the intelligence of the body. So when we sit on the edge of a chair, we have our sitting bones really present. When we have the
When you
sitting
say
bones,
sitting bones, do you mean those two little?
the two nails, the ischial tuberosities in correct language.
Whoa, those are those little.
Those are the little sitting bones that we sit on. So when you go to the museum in New York and you look at the dinosaurs, they have a long one. We have a nub that we sit on. So many of the classes we just roll off it and on it and forward and learn where it is. Once we find where it is, we can stack our spine over it. And like when people meditate, that's where they meditate. Otherwise, the muscles need to hold us. And when the muscle needs to hold us, it creates fatigue and ache and pain.
So why is it I feel like, oh, I'm tired, I've got to sit like this?
Because you have not trained to get your nervous system and your bone holding your structure. The muscle just need to be resting there for the brain to say, oh, pick this up. As long as my brain doesn't say I need to do a movement, why do the muscle have to be in contraction? And one side needs to be more contraction than the other.
Yeah.
And why it's like one shoulder needs to be higher than the other. We don't. I mean, if everything can be hanging there, ready to go, and the nervous system and the bones are just there supporting you, and the muscles are ready to get orders.
And so this just bad habits or not being
I mean, look how the chairs are.
Chair
all-
size.
chair size is funny,
height,
yeah. Height.
design. All the car seats are this way, so the
they're-
pelvis is
yeah.
rolled backwards. Your psoas is now collapsed. You don't engage. All the organs are collapsed. You're not engaged. And this is not restful.
But but we think it is. That's the thing. Somehow it feels like you think that you're more restful if you're blah.
If I sat like this, I would get up and everything would be just like slouching. I mean, there's no breath, there's no flow, there's no.
And so I guess it's just a matter of learning to sit properly.
And then the brain understands it and feels so much better in it. Like, we have a lymph system in the body.
the lymph
The
nodes
lymph
and-
system.
Yes.
The lymph system moves really slowly. It's like the garbage truck comes twice a week.
Twice a week.
Twice
No,
a week,
the
every
gar-
72
the lymph-
hours.
The lymph system.
The lymph system moves very slowly, and the way to move it is by movement. Most of us don't move. We don't even go for a little walk. So in many of the classes, we do pa-pam, 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 right? And it's fun. And that gets the lymph nodes moving up the limbs.
Yeah, it's funny just doing that. I kind of feel a little bit of
Flow.
I guess it's flow in my legs. Yeah, a little
Right.
bit of. It doesn't seem like you're doing. Like, come on, we're not doing anything.
We are doing.
Come
And
on.
then you can do also like this. And because the main duct is right here
Oh, the main duct of your lymph
of the
system.
lymph system, and then it goes back into the bloodstream. It collects all the toxins, all the garbage, 72 hours, and then it goes back
And
into
so-
the blood.
And so we're just doing these simple
Tiny little
this,
things.
And this, I mean, don't we have to like sweat and get big heavy weights? And
My classes are really difficult because you have to think. You have to become aware of what you do and how you do. So let's say that, like the rib cage, we talk about the rib cage, and with the minute we say cage, we think about no movement. Everything is holding, supporting our lungs. It needs to be there, right? No, it needs to move. It needs to flow, because it allows the spine to rotate and allows the spine to move. And if it doesn't move, then the whole section from here to here is like without movement. So we're just caging ourselves and limiting ourselves to less and less and less.
so how do we get our rib cage to move?
You come to my class.
Ah, yay! Okay, well, there's a question
And how
here.
do I enroll in that class?
How do you enroll? Do you just show up?
If you have that little tag, you come to my class and I take the telephone that they give me and I scan it and you sit on the class.
Oh yeah, show. Let's see one of these. Show it. Put it in front of the
This is
camera.
the senior
Whoop, you're
center
stuck.
right there.
There we go. It's a little bit of a. It's a little card. Where membership
Senior
card to the senior center.
And you
That's
get
what it
it
looks
in
like.
the senior center.
Yeah.
And if you're a Gulfport, it's free. And if you're not a Gulfport, like St. Pete, it's $25 a year.
Is
So-
it 25 or 50?
Oops, I don't know.
I think it might be 50, but anyways,
So
yes.
where's the building again?
On 49 and
And?
16
Avenues.
Not 49th, right?
49th Street.
Oh, is that?
Yeah,
that's
that's
not
the-
where
that's
the
where-
senior center is.
No,
you
the-
are meeting on 49th Street?
and 16 right now while they are fixing and rebuilding the
A
Scouts
couple
Home.
blocks from here.
Yeah,
Couple
yeah,
of-
yeah.
yeah,
It's
south.
where there's trash cans and recycling things there. The
Right
police
next to
station
it,
is there.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neighborhood center?
It's called the
Neighborhood Center, yes, of
Yeah.
Gulfport.
So if you're not a resident, you can pay and get
A
one of those
yearly
little tags,
fee,
a
yeah.
yearly fee, and you can go to all sorts of classes. There's
And
uh,
what time of day again?
9:30 on Friday.
9:30 in the morning on Friday. Was there another question in the audience?
Actually, it was answered because I don't
Ah.
live in Gulfport, and so I didn't know how to enroll.
Okay, so
and
that
I have
was
one
the
more
other-
question.
One more question, yep.
And then, do you work with people who are challenged? I'm sorry.
Let's see if we can.
I am very arthritic.
Okay,
Right.
does she work with arthritic people?
Okay, so my take on arthritis, which is everything that ends with IS, is inflammation.
I know.
And most of our diseases nowadays, based on diet and environment and habits, is inflammation based. So and arthritis is one of the 130 different arthritis, it's arthritis is an umbrella name for a lot of different ways of getting the joint to be inflamed. When something is inflamed, it means the body wants to live, right? We all want to live. We all want to thrive. And one of the ways to get it is to get blood and oxygen into the area.
So that's what you do.
So I bring blood. I teach about how to move when it's not a work hard, because I love to work hard. Some of my it's like and hold and hold and hold and hold and hold and release. It feels good too. A lot of the classes work that way, so I choose most of my classes to bring awareness and the how-to that support the system in a gentle way. And it's still a workout. You're not going to feel like I've done nothing. You're going to feel like you worked hard. And especially because you have to link your thinking and your awareness to how you do.
And I guess, like she mentioned earlier, you can go to YouTube and
Yes.
watch some videos. So you could
just
do that.
write my name, Noa Spector-Flock, on YouTube, and then look for On the Edge of the Chair. And I have classes where you have to lift your leg all the way up and hold it and hold it and hold it. But for people that are 50 and older, 60 and older, and have not trained all their lives to open their legs this wide or to lift the leg this high, I have tons of stuff. In the last 20 years, this is where I've been growing and putting my attention to.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And can I see we have Noa has to leave shortly. She
5
jumps
minutes,
in
yeah.
5 minutes. She has to leave in 5 minutes. Can you do you want to? What else can we share with the audience about you or a practice or something to learn?
You want to try something?
Yes, we do want to try it.
Okay.
Everybody out there in in the audience and at your homes. Let's try something.
Okay, so let's find the sitting bones.
So we're find our sit
Uh-oh.
bones.
iPad does not like to drop.
That's all right.
Needs to tuck it.
Uh-huh. And we're going to shift the weight to your right. And we just try to shift the weight to the bone, but not to get the body out. So if the body went out, bring the body in until you feel the weight on the sitting bones, and then drop back into the center. And then shift to the left, and try not to move the body, only to get to the bone. So the next time as we do it, see if you can actually lift the ribs up as you shift to the bones, but not lift the shoulder. So there is a diagonal that going towards the opposite shoulder.
This is really hard.
And then you go diagonally from the sitting bones, your left. And I see some people that are lifting their shoulder or lifting their heels to help.
Put your heel down. Ah.
Okay, so I mean, I don't have to look, I see it in my periphery. So
So keep your heels on the ground, folks.
So that's the way I teach. You know, I see things and I go from there. So like right now, let's say we're gonna move to the right. We're gonna lift the ribs a little bit, and we're gonna lift the heel on the right, on the left, and drop it, and lift and drop it. So I will take a mistake and I will accentuate it. So you can just the heel. So I can just the heel,
Just the heel.
only the heel.
I mean, keep your toe on the ground. There you go.
There you go.
That's so hard.
So now you are work. Do you feel it? And then you come back. So we'll do it to the other side. We find the sitting bones. We open up. We lift the ribs. So it's getting to the opposite shoulder. So now you have a diagonal, and this diagonal is this way through the second lumbar, which is neurologically the base for our walking. Right? We're walking in a position. And now you're going to lift the heel and drop the heel, lift the heel and drop the heel. Only one heel, only your right heel. And this starts strengthening the core of your body without doing, right?
I guess just
You can lift your leg and hold and hold and hold and hold, but it works on the outside muscle. It doesn't work on the deep muscle that we just worked on. So that's the difference between an exercise class to my class.
yeah, I thought it was very interesting that you told us to go over onto one sit bone. You didn't tell us to raise our heels or bum all around, and I guess we're not very in touch with our bodies, and so we go over this way and the heel comes up. Well, you didn't,
didn't even know
being more aware
Absolutely,
of
it's all
different-
about awareness. Yeah. But at the end of a class like this, you'll be able to go to the side. You're going to be able to find that place. You're going to be able to lift one leg. You're going to be able to lift another leg, and you're going to be able to be flying.
Woo!
Okay, be anchoring on one, which works on the balance, which is so important at our age.
Yeah.
So that's the development, and that's the thinking behind it.
Well, and it's interesting that we can work on balance while sitting in a chair.
Correct.
Right, because if you don't have good balance, you don't want to be afraid that you're going to fall.
Right, but at the end of it, I mean, in some classes we will find it, and we're gonna find a way to get up, which is nice and smooth, without any problem in, oh my God, where is it? Oh, right?
Right. My goodness, it's so simple yet complicated. All right, is there anything else anybody in the audience wants to say?
What time again?
9:30 in the morning on
9:30
Friday.
on Friday mornings through the senior center. Oh, what's going on? Uh-oh.
It
doesn't
used to
say.
be Wednesday, and now it's 9:30. We need to fix it.
Okay, so
They
she's,
need to fix
she's
it.
looking it up. It's not on there correctly.
Friday.
Mm.
No, I used to be on a Wednesday.
See, folks, this is it is so.
Monday,
It's the
Tuesday.
age of information, and you can look everything up online.
Wellness movement, 11:30 Scouts Hall, moved to Friday at 9:30.
So now you don't smack them to change it.
I need to tell
We
Walter
need
to
to,
change it.
we need to
yes.
change it.
Yeah.
Or you can
I'm
just...
not in charge of their website.
I know, it's just so...
I know you.
I'm barely in charge of my own website.
I just got you.
Yes, well, that, thank you for looking that up for us,
Yeah.
and now you know, so now you can...
But yeah, Friday at 9:30. I would love to see you guys and bring whoever you want, even young ones.
Okay, we have one
Yes.
more.
Karen Gates says the address of the neighborhood center is 1617 49th Street South.
She's correct.
1617 49th Street South. Friday mornings at 9:30 at this moment until they fix Scout Hall.
Right, and
You
there are
can do
plenty of chairs. Just come.
Just come with your chair.
No, don't bring it.
No, don't. I mean, don't.
They have
Yes, they come. Don't bring a chair.
Play yourself.
Bring yourself,
Yeah, I would love to give you a little gift for coming. I don't know. This is what I'm going to give you. Just you know, this is a little piece of lucky bamboo,
Thank you.
and
thank
you can
thank
just
you.
put it in water, and
Okay.
it will root and grow.
I see it's already his roots.
Yes, and you can just leave it in a bottle of water forever, and it's supposed to bring luck to you. And it's a little. You do bonsai too.
I do
She's
bonsai.
a-
I have my own garden. I have a wonderful backyard.
Yes.
So
Well,
this is
one day
will
I
be a
can.
wonderful
I have a
addition.
pile. I have a pile of little trees around the corner there by the spigot. So feel free to pick something up on your way out also.
Okay.
And thank you for coming in and so there you go. I think that one of the things that's important about what you've said is how little you actually have to do to make a difference in your
Absolutely.
body and your blood flow. And thank you.
And thank you.
And I appreciate
Enjoy.
your coming in as a dun dun dun. She came in at the last minute as a reinforcement, and off do you go to your. But like I said, look right around the corner there. There's a bunch of
Okay.
little trees and stuff sitting there. If any of those plants appeal to you, just take one.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes,
Bye, guys.
I like to
Thank
give
you.
people.
Thank you, Barbie.
Like to give people little gifts. All right, Gail, wee, come on up.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm good.
Now, Gail, you were a surprise guest, and I'm so glad you agreed to speak with us.
My pleasure.
Now, you have a publishing company.
Yes,
What does that mean, you have a publishing company?
Well, I've written my whole life. Started with poetry, and then I started writing stories since I was. Since I could write.
Listen to me. I was about to relax back like this, and then I was like, oh no.
I'm a little bit of a hyper right now because
Yeah, well, I mean, I know, but I was like, it's funny because I'm so used to just
Oh,
sort of
yeah.
collapsing down, and I'm like, no, I just told us we should.
I have always written since I could hold a pencil. I've always written, and when I was a little girl, I climbed a lot of trees. I grew up in the country, and trees were my refuge. There were a lot of kids in my neighborhood, and I had a lot of brothers and sisters, and a tree was a place I could go to be all alone and look down upon the world and do a lot of thinking. And so mostly I worked in hospitality, and I didn't apply my writing in any financial way, but I've always written. And in 2008, I wrote a memoir. And 2007 was a terrible year we all have terrible years in our lives. 2007, I won't go into it, it was a terrible year. And I wrote a memoir, started writing amidst the turmoil, and by the time I finished the book, the turmoil had gone down, not because I wrote the book, but I was able to resolve things, and I had to publish it. And I got help from a man on Madeira Beach who had a publishing company, and he got me going. And then as I continued to write more, I said, well, I'm going to do what this guy does on Reddington Beach, Christopher, and I can't remember his last name. But he instructed me in a lot of ways to how to establish myself. I bought Treetops Publishing as my name. Every 5 years I renew it. And I've only published my own books, or had only published my own books, until I met my husband, Larry,
And you all met at a writers group, is that right?
in a writer's group
See, you never know where you're going to meet someone.
at the Gulfport Library.
There you go.
And he was a struggling writer, and I criticized his stories, and didn't always take it well, but he did listen to me finally, and I started publishing.
He says
his-
you're brilliant, by the way. Just so you know, while you were running off to get your things. He
well,
does say you're
I've
brilliant.
convinced him that.
Yes, you have. You
I've
clearly
convinced him
convinced
that I
him.
am, and that I'm usually right. So
Mm.
yes, and so I have written 7 books, just like my husband, and that's where I'm at right now. Right now, my computer is pretty much kaflooey. Microsoft does not allow me to use my Word anymore, and my computer's on its last legs. If you do want to get in touch with me, you can contact me through Larry Lewis' email right there, and I'm working on getting more established.
And you might help other people, right? Will you read us a little story?
Sure.
Okay, you're going to read us a story. I'm going to leave the stage and let you read that.
Okay. And I forgot to bring my reading glasses.
Oh, goodness. Do we have an extra pair?
So, no, it's okay. No, it won't help. No, it's okay. It won't help. So thank you, though. Thank you. This is called. Can I stand up, or would that be?
You can stand up
Can I
if you'd
stand
like.
up? Will I be in the
Yeah,
camera?
you're
You are
still-
still, you're fine.
Oh, okay. I'm used to reading standing up. I do a lot of readings around Gulfport. I used to read at the Courtyard, BC, before COVID, and I've started reading at the Tiki again down on Gulf Shore, and several other places around the area. This is called I See the Moon. I look around the room. Nothing seems unusual, but then I see her, the moon, sitting in a gray armchair, or rather I see half the moon. It's nighttime, and the streetlight outside my window illuminates only her right profile. Are you waxing or waning? I ask. Never at a loss for words, I am. Waxing, replies the moon. Of course, I say, a silly question. Left side dark, moon is growing. Right side dark, moon is going. I knew that. Your left is my right, says the chuckling moon. But aside from that, you're an astute observer. I have a scientific mind, I say, and that said, I know I'm dreaming. You're the moon. You can't be here. You exist in the sky. You're 240,000 miles away. Wrong, the moon says. I'm here, right now. No way, I say. Now I am at a loss for words. Just look, says the moon. Look at me. I am here, sitting in this armchair. I think not, I say. I'm going to wake up in a few minutes. I've dozed off, and I will wake up in this same dimly lit room. I'll probably be sitting in that very chair that you're in. And in a few minutes, I will be gone, the moon says. In fact, it will be 2 minutes and 11 seconds by earthly clocks. Do you see those clouds up there? I step closer, close enough to touch her, but I resist the impulse. I peer out the window beside her. Do you see the moon? Says the moon. Well, no, it's cloudy. It's too cloudy to see anything. Can't see stars, can't see the moon. You couldn't even see a plane or a bird or pigs with wings up there. True, the moon says. That's true. But your mention of flying pigs tells me you have good instincts. This is a random event, my friend. Doesn't happen too often. It's like an eclipse, if I may use that analogy. I'm dreaming, I say. That's what my good instincts tell me. Believe that if you wish. But I, your loyal, steadfast moon, am not without a foible or two. Between you and me, I get tired of the daily grind. Must I be ever present, steady as a cold rock? Can't I enjoy a little reprieve from time to time? You only work nights, I say. You get to sleep all day. Have you thrown science out the window, says the moon? While you're sitting on a beach blanket in Passagril, I'm rising over the polluted skies of Beijing. And while you and your friends ski the slopes of Colorado, I watch young soldiers die on blood-soaked deserts in Baghdad. The moon sighs, a heavy sigh. I'm sorry, I say, I wasn't thinking. You were, says the moon, you were thinking. but only of yourself, not of the world which you inhabit. I'm here, damn it. I'm the moon. Farmers follow my phases and plant their crops. The wombs of women bleed with my changing moods. I grow full, and lunatics grow restless. Wolves howl, dogs bark, hunters and the hunted prowl and scavenge beneath the vagaries of my light. Entire oceans ebb and swell with my passage. All these things happen because of me. Do you hear? All these things because of me. Look at me. See me. I'm here. I step back, study the white curve of her profile. I feel uneasy. I seem to have angered the moon. She turns to the window and looks at the clouds. I'll be awake soon, I say. You'll be gone. This is a dream. Life is but a dream, says the moon. Row, row, row your boat, I say. Gently down the stream, the moon sings. Merrily, 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 we sing together. The clouds are moving. She's fading. It's been a pleasure, I say. Are you leaving? Soon, croons the moon. Soon. You're a poet, I say. Listen to yourself, the moon says. You're the poet. I close my eyes. Listen to yourself, I say to myself. I open my eyes. I am sitting in a gray armchair. Through the window beside me, the light of the moon, a half moon, illuminates this dimly lit room. Yay!
Can you make that camera go down, Mary?
Sorry?
We'll get you to lower that other camera there. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yay,
for
that
having
was
me.
lovely.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay, now, we have 10 minutes left in the show. I want you to read another little poem, and then we got to get Larry back up here to sing his famous Gulfport song. So, I wish I could spend, it turns out you think you're not going to have enough guests and nobody to fill the whole hour, and then all of a sudden,
And here we are.
Here we are. But before you read this poem that you're going to read, what is it, you have your own publishing company. What does that mean? Like, can anybody have one, and what good does it do you to have one?
Well, I can copyright my work, and what I most enjoy is I usually print between 5 and 10 copies of every book I write, and what I most enjoy is giving it to friends and family, sharing it with them. If they really like the book, they can keep it, or I say, if you don't, if you read it and you enjoy it, but if you want to give it back, I'll pass it on. I have control over all my work, and I can copyright my work through a publishing company, and it's fun. I enjoy it.
Okay, and you get to be in charge of the design. What's that question?
How do you get them printed?
How do you get them printed?
I actually purchased equipment. I have, well, of course, a printer. And the way I do, this is a book I carry. Most of my books are thicker. But the way I print them, you can buy these at Office Depot. And I have it punches the hole and it makes the thing, and then you insert it on. It physically makes the book. And that itself, people enjoy that as a hobby, is making their own books. And it's all the modern conveniences have made it easier. And I take cardstock to make covers, and I laminate them. And I've gotten very creative over the years with design and layout, which is the way I've helped Larry with his books. My husband Larry, is his work is really good stuff. I do the editing and I format it, and formatting is part of the fun of making a book, is how it's going to look on a page, and inserting pictures, things like that. So it's all part of the process.
All right, that's cool. Okay, so if we see you down at the Tommy's Tiki, you could give us some formatting advice. There you
I
go.
don't
Will you
know.
read us another poem though before?
Oh, okay.
What's
Are
that?
you going to be at the Tiki anytime soon?
I sort of plan on being there next Wednesday. It's every Wednesday from 7 till 10.
Yeah, they have an
Something
open
like
mic
that.
down at
An
the
open mic,
Tiki
yeah.
bar in Gulfport, and people go there, and it's a nice social event, and you're often there. So, what's that?
5 minutes.
We got 5 minutes. Read us a poem and then come up. Or yes, we got to get you to come up. Read us a little poem.
I'll read a real short one.
Read
This
us
is
a
from
short
my
poem.
granddaughter. Okay.
Okay, for your
in the
granddaughter
audience.
who's
Okay.
in the audience.
It's called If I Were a Fish, I'd Be in a School, a band on the run with no tubas or tutors, tubas or fluters, no teachers or tutors, no instruction, no words, no mammals, no birds, no fences, no cages, no working for wages. We swim, swam, have swum, and no beating drum dictates our motion within this ocean. There's no wind, no rain, no weather to speak of, so we never complain. And if I were a fish, I'd no sooner explain the sky to an eagle than I would listen to an eagle explain the sea to me.
Oh, fabulous! That is so nice. And you read it at a lickety clip there.
Lickety-click.
And thank you so much for filling in at the last minute and for sharing your work with us. And I promised Larry that he could sing his
Here we
song.
go.
We thought we might do two together. I thought I might, sometimes I close with Carry My Rain in a Bushel Basket. No. I'd rather hear your song. You know, one of the songs I sing is Carry My Rain in a Bushel Basket and Let the Sun Shine Through. But you wrote this song.
We love Gulfport, and it's a little song about Gulfport. It's about the tiki, where they have an open mic every Wednesday night. And a couple of us fellows were sitting around, and someone said, "Well, that act's going to be hard to follow." And me and my buddy said, "You know, that's a song if I've never heard one." So I wrote it. It's called "They're All Hard to Follow." Now, if you're ever in Gulfport, Florida, and you're looking for something to do, I recommend Little Tommy's Tiki. It'll be good for you. They got delicious food and spirits galore, and the ambiance is out of sight. But what makes the place really cool is Wednesday's open mic, yeah. They got a country queen that loves Hank Williams. She usually starts the show. Then jazz man John winds her up. Lets her go. Man, that guy can play guitar. Then Captain Pete will take a seat and sing about 3 fingers of rum. And when he tells a couple of his corny jokes, we're all having fun. And you can bet your bottom dollar when Mark says it's time, everyone will holler. All they want is a really good time. That's why they're all hard to follow, yeah. Now, if you're one of these people who like to reminisce and go back in time, don't you worry none, Keith and Frank are next in line. They'll sing the songs of the 60s and put a big smile on your face. And before you know it and turn around, you'll be back in that happy place. Well, now Keith Bonville will take the stage with a big old Gibson guitar. The songs he sings are down to earth. They'll hit you right where you are. They're mostly about common folk and the hard times they go through. And if you listen really close, he might be talking about you. And you can bet your bottom dollar when Mark says it's time, everyone will holler, holler. All they want is a really good time. That's why they're all hard to follow. Now, funny songs are your cup of tea. You'll want to hear Berkeley sing. He got a way of twisting the words, make them do about anything. Well, he'll lead you here and he'll lead you there and he'll take you for a ride. But all he's really trying to do is keep your funny bone satisfied. So I'll do one more. I got a bunch of them, but I'll do one right here. You all know this person here. You see, Laura Shepard might mosey in with that little mandolin in tow. She got a way of making everybody feel good. That's just the way it goes. You see, she carries her rain in a bushel basket. She's been to the county fair. And something's gonna happen and it could be good. And you'll wanna be there. And you can bet your bottom dollar when Mark says it's time, everyone will holler. All they want is a really good time. That's why they're all hard to follow. They're all hard to follow today.
This show's hard to follow. I think we time. Anything anybody, oh what, we got one more minute. Anything anybody needs to say? All right, we're going to sing one chorus of Carry My Rain in a Bushel Basket, and then Kim's going to end the show. Ready? Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry it in the sunshine too. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, but let the sunshine through. Carry my
Rain in the bushel basket.
carry my rain in a bushel basket,
Carry my rain in a bushel basket. Let the sunshine through.
You gotta let your sunshine through. Woo!